The coastal village of Brynford had always lived under the watchful eye of the sea. By day, its shores bustled with fishermen hauling in their catch, and by night, lanterns flickered in the salty air as old sailors shared tales of the deep. But of all the stories whispered over foaming mugs of ale, none were as chilling as those of the Black Dawn, a ghostly vessel said to sail beneath the full moon, its deck lined with silent, faceless souls. Tobias, a seasoned fisherman, had never believed in such tales. The sea was dangerous, yes, but not because of phantoms. It was the storms, the hidden reefs, and the cruel hand of fate that claimed men's lives, not cursed ships. So when a dense fog rolled in one fateful evening, and the silhouette of a massive, darkened ship appeared beyond the bay, Tobias scoffed at the fear gripping his fellow villagers. "You're all acting like frightened children," he said, striding toward the docks. "It's likely just a merchant vessel that's lost its way." But deep down, something about the ship unsettled him. It moved too quietly across the waves, its sails full despite the stillness of the wind. Against his better judgment, Tobias took his small fishing boat and rowed toward the eerie silhouette, determined to prove the legend false. As he neared the Black Dawn, a deathly chill seeped into his bones. The ship's hull was ancient, its wood blackened as if charred by some forgotten fire. No lanterns glowed upon its deck, no crew moved among the rigging. Tobias hesitated but forced himself to climb the hanging rope ladder, his breath forming mist in the unnaturally cold air. The deck was empty save for a row of figures standing in silence. Cloaked in tattered garments, their faces were obscured by the darkness of their hoods. Not a single breath or sound came from them. Tobias stepped closer, his pulse pounding like the tide. Who are you?" he asked. A voice, hollow as the wind between gravestones, whispered in response. "We are those who were never given rest." Tobias felt the weight of unseen eyes upon him. The ship creaked as though it were alive, shifting beneath his feet. Shadows coiled around the mast, and for the first time in his life, true fear rooted him in place. "They say the Black Dawn carries the souls of the lost," the voice continued. "Those forgotten by land and sea. Those whose stories were never told." Tobias tried to back away but his limbs felt leaden. The faceless figures turned toward him in unison, their presence pressing against him like a rising tide. "You still breathe," the voice intoned. "But for how long?" A great bell tolled somewhere deep within the ship's belly, a sound that resonated in Tobias's very bones. The figures raised their hands and suddenly, Tobias could feel the sea inside him, pulling, claiming, drowning. With a final burst of will, he tore himself free and stumbled back over the railing, plunging into the freezing waters below. The current surged around him, pushing him away from the cursed vessel. As he gasped for breath, the fog thickened, and the Black Dawn faded into the mist as if it had never been there at all. Tobias washed ashore at dawn, his skin icy and his mind reeling. The villagers found him and pulled him to safety, but something in his gaze had changed. He never spoke of what he had seen. But on nights when the fog crept over Brynford shores, he would sit by the docks, staring at the sea with haunted eyes, waiting, listening, fearing the toll of the bell that would one day call his name. For none who set foot upon the Black Dawn could escape it forever.